Okay, today we'll be going through factorization part 4. And this is actually what we call cross multiplication method for 3 terms. For example 1, okay, let's take a look at this example here. We have x squared plus 6x plus 8. So whenever you see 3 terms, what you need to do is you have to use this cross multiplication method most of the time. Okay, you need to draw a big X with two straight lines, which is one is horizontal and the other one is vertical. And the first term is what we call the square terms. You need to put at the first position, followed by the number, the whole number here. You put the 8 here, and followed by the last one, which is 6x in here. So whatever variable that you put at the last position here, it must be with your variable. It can be your A, it can be your B, it can be your Y, etc. Okay, now you must think of 2 terms. When you multiply together, you get x squared. So in this case, it will be x times x. Okay, so x times x, you get x squared. And how about for 8? Okay, for 8, I've written here, 8 is equal to 4 times 2. 8 is equal to 1 times 8. So in this case, I've chosen 4 and 2 to be the 2 terms here. So 2 times 4 equals to 8. So I repeat, 2 times 4 equals to 8, and x times x equals to x squared. Now what you need to do is, can you see the x line here? So you need to multiply the opposite numbers. So 4 times x, you get 4x here. 2 times x, you get 2x here. So you'll be getting something like this, yeah? So 4x you write here, and 2x you write here. Now, you need to combine these 2x and 4x together, becoming 6x. So how do you combine them in using subtraction or addition? So basically, you just add these 2 numbers together. 4 times 2 equals to 6. So 4 plus 2 equals to 6. I repeat, 4 plus 2 equals to 6. So that's how you get the 6x here. Next, you need to move this sign plus to here, positive sign to here. So therefore, you are getting plus 2 and plus 4. So the next step will be writing x plus 2 here and x plus 4 here. So that's how you get this 2 brackets, x plus 2, x plus 4. Example 2. So again, we repeat the process. X squared minus 11x plus 24. So this x squared, you have to write it in the first position, followed by 24, positive 24. And the next one will be negative 11x. Okay, so this negative will always follow this 11. Next, we need to think of 2 terms that multiply together to get x squared, which is obviously is x squared. X times x equals to x squared. And the next one is 24. Okay, so we need to think of factors. Okay, factors of 24. 24 equals 8 times 3, or 6 times 4, or 24 times 1. So therefore, in this case, I'll be choosing 8 times 3. So now we need to cross multiply these 2 numbers together. So 8 times x, you get a 8x here. 3 times x, you get a 3x here. The next step will be we need to think of these 2 numbers, add and 3. How do you add up or subtract to get negative 11? So basically, we need to add a two negative number here, negative and negative. So these two negative, you will make negative 8. Negative 3 becomes negative 11. It's just like when you owe someone $8 today and you owe another $3 tomorrow. So essentially, you are owing someone $11. Next, you need to move this negative towards the other side here, into here. So again, you need to double check your answer. Negative 8 multiplied with negative 3. Do you get positive 24? Okay, so the answer is yes. So therefore, your answer is correct. So I've written here again, okay, you use add, okay, for these two numbers to combine to become negative 11 and multiply to get 24 from negative 8 and negative 3. So the last step will be writing x minus 8 into this bracket and x minus 3 into the other bracket. That's your final answer. Okay, example 3, cross multiplication methods. Okay, now we have three terms, 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. So the first position will always be the 2x squared, followed by 12, the third term, and finally 11x, the third term. Okay, so now we need to think of two terms. When you multiply together, you get 2x squared. So the answer will be 2x multiplied with x. And next, we need to think of 12, okay? What are the factors of 12? So it is 4 times 3, 6 times 2, 12 times 1. So for this question, I'll be choosing 4 times 3, 3 and 4, okay? So when you multiply 4 with 2x, you get 8x, 3 and x, you get a 3x here. Next, you need to add these two numbers together or minus to get 11. So essentially, you need to add plus here. Okay, so that's why I have written a add word here. So plus 3x plus 8x, you get 11x positive. So next, you need to move this sign to the other side, which is plus 3 and plus 4, and do a multiplication again. Okay, so plus 3 multiplied with plus 4, you get a positive 12. So that's how we check these two numbers. And lastly, again, you write 2x plus 3, which is here, 2x plus 3. The other bracket will be x plus 4. Yeah. Okay, example 4 here, we have 4x squared minus 7x plus 3. So again, we orientate the positions of these three terms, 4x squared plus 3 and negative 7x. We need to think of two terms. When you multiply, you will get 4x squared, which is 4x multiplied with the x, and 3 multiplied with 1. So therefore, for here, you are getting 4x times 1, which is 4x, and x times 3, you get a 3x here. Now you need to think how you can combine 3 and 4 in becoming negative 7. So the solution will be by adding a negative sign and negative sign on both sides. So when you add both numbers together, minus 3x minus 4x, you get a negative 7, which is correct. Next, you move this negative signs to the other end, negative 3, negative 1. When you multiply negative 3 and negative 1 together, you get a 3. Okay, so the answer is correct. So your final solution will be 4x minus 3, x minus 1. For the last questions, 6x squared plus 19x minus 20. So here I have three positions, 6x squared minus 20 plus 19x. Again, you need to think of two terms. When you multiply together, you get 6x squared, which is 6x multiplied by x. And for 20, you need to think of two factors. When you multiply together, you get a 20. So in this case, I have chosen 5 times 4. 5, 4. So we now do the cross multiplication. 5 times x, you get 5x. 6x times 4, you get 24x. And now, how do you make these two numbers when you add or combine them together? 24 and 5, it becomes 19. So the answer will be 24 minus 5. Okay, so 24 minus 5, you get 19 here. Next, we move this negative and positive sign to the other end. You get negative and plus, and do one last check by multiplying these two numbers together. So negative 5 times positive 4. So therefore, you are getting negative 20. Okay, so your final solution will be 6x minus 5, which is here, and x plus 4 on the other bracket.